Joe Danko, new customer in Levittown. Scope of work's going to be weeding of beds, bush trimming, and just kind of cleanup of the beds. So I'm starting in the backyard. So all of the, you got a ton of juniper. All needs a good trim. You can see kind of where all the new growth is kind of hairy. He just wants that all pruned back and shaped up. You can even do some of it probably with a string trimmer to basically kind of close it back into the mulch beds. You can see like he's got a border here, but then the juniper is kind of overflowing all here. So cutting all that back to get it back to the into the mulch beds, and then the stuff along the house, kind of cutting that to get it off the house. And then, like I said, all the like hairy stuff needs a nice prune and shape. And you'll kind of see what I just said there. Do that wherever you see junipers all over the place in the back here, and a little bit in the front. So if you see a little bit of dead, you could cut it out too. Try to snip it out the best you can. Same thing here, kind of cut this back, get his walkway back. Some of the dead stuff you can cut out. This all needs a nice cut back to get back to the border. Any weeds that you see poking through, you probably won't see too much because it's mostly covered in plants, but any weeds you see, you can yank out. So prune, shape. Got some weeds like here, probably hard to see in the video. This bed, got a bunch of weeds actually. Looks like just Liripe should be in here. Everything else yank out, yank all this out, clean all that up. And then on this bed back here, these like grassy nuts edge weed type looking things, you can yank them out. Leave that little juniper in there, just trim it up. Can lightly prune this, just prune like the really long hairy stuff. That hosta, what you could probably do is any leaves that are like more than 50% dead, I would just cut them out, hand snip them out. Lightly prune this guy up, lightly prune this guy up. Trim this back. This one I wouldn't trim all the way back because it might be, because most of it's like outside of, but I would cut back a little bit. This one you cut back the whole thing. Light prune, light prune, light prune some of the hairy stuff. Same thing here with the juniper deal. Gotta trim that up. And that's it for the backyard. And then moving to the front. Moving to the front. So this one, give it kind of like a light umbrella cut, nothing dramatic or aggressive. Lightly prune the top. Any weeds in here, you can yank them out. Liripe you can leave alone for now. No trimming of that. Little tiny like weeds in here you can yank out. I think all this is fine to just leave unless he says otherwise. Up here, juniper, same thing. Kind of cut it back. Cut out all the hairy stuff. A little bit of weeds in here poking, you can trim up. This dead I would cut out. That dead I would cut out. And then there's a bunch of weeds, like grassy's growing up through here. You can yank all them out. Got a bunch of weeds in here to yank out. And then lightly pruning this guy up. And kind of, it's like growing onto his porch, so trim that up a little bit. And then a bunch of weeds underneath to yank out. And then lightly trim out some of that dead stuff. And that's it.